What is good, guys? It is your boy back for another video. Feeling good. Just got back from playing some basketball. Just got cleaned up. It's it's been a good morning. Where's the vlogs? I promised you guys a vlog a week in 2016, and I feel bad about that. I did make a vlog the first week of 2016, and I uploaded it, and I decided not to publish it, and then I deleted it. And the reason being is because it's not it wasn't the right vibe. It wasn't something I felt like I wanted to put up on the channel because it was, I don't want to say negative. I'm not exactly Mr. Positivity, but it was almost like it was too sad because it was about the passing of Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead and Hawkwind. And I am a huge fan of Lemmy. Lemmy is one of those guys, he's always rode his own wave. He's always done his own thing right till the end. I salute him for that. He is a god among boys, in my opinion. And I shared some stories about some reasons why Motorhead was such a big part of my life, and Lemmy in particular. And it was just kind of a downer. It was, to put it plainly, it was a bit of a downer. And I might revisit some of those stories one day. I might do like a Motorhead record collection or something in the future. But ultimately, that vlog just, I'm not going to post it. Motorhead is just one of those bands that's just timeless in a lot of ways. They did their thing for decades, and they never not sounded like Motorhead, which is what I appreciated most about them. They never put out a fucking electronic record or like a rock crossover record or a motherfucking Christmas album, you know what I mean? They always played Motorhead music, and you knew what you were getting into when you bought a Motorhead record. And, as uninteresting as that might sound after, 30 plus years, it never got old to me because they were always improving upon what they did last and finding new ways to kind of make rock music. And I know Lemmy doesn't like to be lumped in with like the metal genre, but he is such a huge influence on metal and hardcore and and punk rock and all the stuff that I love, and that's undeniable. And his Motorhead's album Bad Magic that came out in 2015 was my favorite record of the year. In fact, I'm going to post a official music video from that album that is kind of an ominous foretelling of future events for Lemmy, and in some degrees Phil Taylor, even though I'm pretty sure I'm not sure about the exact timeline of when Phil died as to when the video was shot, but I would imagine it was at least in pre-production prior to Phil's death. So, if even if you're not into Motorhead, check it out. Try something new. You might like it. I mean, I listen to like rap and like hardcore. You know what I mean? And like Motorhead, in jazz and to some classical. It's like my music taste is kind of all over the place, and it wouldn't be like that if I just stuck to listening to the same type of music all the time. I like to be experimental with my music, and if you're not a Motorhead fan, or maybe you don't know much about them, check out the video. You might dig it. So, pay some fucking respect. Rest in peace to Lemmy. So, this video, in my what am I calling these things? Flex videos or tip-up videos? I don't even fucking remember. In my last one that I posted, it did say episode 1, I believe, in the title, and I kind of explain how I'm going to handle these type of videos from now on. So if you didn't see that, go check that out for some kind of exposition of what I'm going to be doing here, because I don't feel like repeating myself. But the first game I got is my bad. Why the fuck are you calling me? What time is it? Sorry about that. I have to call her back. I'm gonna turn my phone off. Jesus. Alright. Volume's off. My bad. These are all Wii games. It seems like when I'm collecting for the Wii, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm really interested to know why she's calling me right now. It seems like every time I think I'm done collecting for the Wii, I find out about a bunch of other Wii games that I want to get. And I have a list, you know, I have like a little notebook that I keep that has all the consoles I'm, you know, collecting for, the list of games. Ideally, one day I would like to add to my library. And it seems like as soon as I get down to like 1 or 2 Wii games left, I like add like 4 or 5. So crossed out a bunch of them, which was nice, but I'm still not done. But in these ones is a couple big ones, some heavy hitters that I'm really, really happy to find. So the first game is actually one I've been looking for this game for a while, and some of the like hardcore Wii collectors have said some pretty good things about it. Like RGC has commented on this game a few times, and that is Marble Saga, and then like a weird word with a K, and that she is calling again. This is becoming a distraction. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce this word. What is that? Corapina or something? Corinpa? I don't fucking know. I don't know what makes you look dumber, saying you don't know how to pronounce a word or mispronouncing it. I'm not quite sure how stupid stacks in that situation. And now my fucking battery is dying. What else could happen in this video to make it go wrong? Getting like 50 phone calls from my friend's wife, which is super weird, and now my fucking battery's dying on my machine. Let's plug this in. Alright, back in business. See, I hear good things about this. I heard the music in this game is incredible. You can use the Wii balance board. Like, how fucking weird is that? This fucking video is a train wreck. I'm not restarting it. There is a sister game, or a companion game, that I think also has the Marble Saga branding, and then maybe another word, or maybe it just has like the weird word there. I can't remember. That one I feel like is a little bit more uncommon than this one. I've seen both in the past and passed on them because of, you know, condition issues, or maybe they weren't complete or whatever. But these games are really cheap if you can find them at GameStop. They're in like the $1 range, which is where I was able to find this. So that was cool. So now I just got to find the other one to complete that little subset. Complete Police. There you go. So yeah, happy to get that. Not sure when I'm going to get to it. And I don't know if I've ever told you guys, but one of, like, the first thing I think when I see that game is Marble Madness. I fucking hate Marble Madness on the NES. It is one of the most frustrating pieces of shit I remember playing. We used to rent video games from the grocery store down the block from the apartment that we lived at that time. And I remember Marble Madness kind of had some hype around it through like magazines and stuff. And I was excited to rent Marble Madness. In fact, it was like one of those things I just couldn't go there and rent it because it was always already rented by somebody. But once, you know, me and my brother finally got a chance to rent it, we were like, fuck this game. This game is shit. It's fucking impossible. I still hate that game to this day. It is a fucking nightmare, in my opinion. But hopefully those games are better. I'm sure they play better. I mean, if you use the Wii balance board, it's got to be good, right? So yeah. Next, this is a game I actually already had, but I went out of town and hit up a bunch of thrift stores and pawn shops, and I went to, like, the fucking biggest Goodwill I've ever seen. It was like a factory. And inside they had some NES games in a case that were, like, the weirdest pricing you can imagine. Like, they were either, like, insanely high or, like, really low. Weird shit. But then I went and looked at the DVDs, and I found a nice little stash of Wii games. Picked up a few, because they wanted between $1.99 and $3.99, so anything that I could trade in, you know, I kind of picked up, traded a bunch in, but one I did plan on keeping for myself, and that is New Play Control Pikmin. Now, this is a game I already had. That said, my copy was not in the best of condition. At all. The disc had some issues. It worked, you know, but it was pretty scratched up. The case wasn't in the best of shape. It didn't have, you know, all the inserts that came with it, like the, you know, like this type of shit. What else is in here? I think there's a... Whatever. You get the point. It was, it wasn't in the best of condition. So this is, you know, an upgrade. And initially I thought I would give my old copy to one of my friends or something as a throw-in. But the condition of it would have been like, why are you giving me this? You know what I mean? It just wasn't in good shape. And it's something I got at a garage sale at the beginning of the summer. So, you know, it wasn't like I paid a lot for it, but it was nice to get a nice upgrade, because this copy's in great shape. The disc has a few little scuffs or whatever, but overall it's a big upgrade. So I took that, my old copy, and I traded it in, and I put the proceeds from the trade-in and a coupon from GameStop towards this game, which is one I've been looking for a while, and it was in great condition, and that is Pikmin 2. So this is the first time I've owned this game on the Wii or the GameCube. I have played it at one of my friend's house, who is like a huge Pikmin fan, but I've never personally owned the game. So I was really happy to get this. After trading in Pikmin 1 and using the coupon, I think I paid about $6 or $7 for this, which was great, because this game is still kind of expensive for whatever reason. Even though it came out at $20 in 1999, I think it went out of print pretty quick. And it came out like 3 years after it came out in like Europe and Australia and Japan and stuff. In North America, like, we got it really late, but we got it for $19.99. And I was an idiot and didn't grab it because I was like, well, I don't like that red border. So fucking stupid. And I don't know why I thought, like, well, we'll get a regular one or something, you know what I mean? But, like, no. And then it became impossible to find and really expensive. So happy to finally get this. I like the Pikmin games overall. I think Pikmin 3 is a good game. I really do. But my favorite is still Pikmin 1 because it's so short. It seems like Pikmin 1, it has so much replay value because it's like, I don't know, what is that game, like maybe 6 or 7 hours to play through it, and it's a nice short little experience that you can improve upon by replaying. But it seems like the later games, they got more focused on kind of like a story, which, like, who's really playing the Pikmin games for story? And the filler, especially in this game, they have, what do they call those? The underground hallways, the caves. The caves in this game just feel like padding to me when I played it with my friend. I mean, I'm not sure how long this one is. I want to say this one's about 20 hours, and I feel like Pikmin 3 is even longer, so it's like they've gotten exponentially longer, when personally I think the best Pikmin experience is 1 because of its length being so short. It has a lot of replay value. But I am a fan of the games. I think they're cool, they're unique, and yeah, good stuff. So, happy to get that. Now, this next one, this was a fucking nightmare. Finding this game proved almost impossible. I had seen this game... where did I see this game? Online somewhere. It wasn't like a best of list or like a Wii Hidden Gems. It was somewhere. Somewhere I saw this game on the internet, and I don't know what it is about it, but I became obsessed with trying to find it. And it's not really a great game. Oh, you know what it was? Is I was looking up other games, like if you've played, what is it, Gunblade or whatever, New York Gunblade or LA Machine Guns on the Wii. That's a really good port of an arcade, shooting game, and Ghost Squad. I really liked those games, and I was looking for other Wii games that were similar. And this is one that's how I came across this one, because this is also a port of an arcade game from the 90s. Published by Konami. How hard can it be to find? This game is almost non-existent, in my opinion. I think they might not have made many copies of this, or maybe it was, the cover might have been a little controversial. Maybe it wasn't carried at a lot of stores. But, jeez, this game is hard as fuck to find. In fact, I did procure a copy, obviously, which I am about to show. But before that, I want to tell a story about the only other physical version of this game I ever saw, and what really kind of kickstarted me to just get it. And that was, I was at a retro store, and it was the retro store where I had the blowout with the Justin Bieber looking bitch. The one I used to go to, that store's dead to me. I'm done with that store. And they have a lot of Wii games still sealed in there, a lot of them, and most of them they want $19.99 for. Now, obviously, there's no Marios or, you know, really expensive games. It's almost entirely shovelware as far as the sealed games go. But I saw this one there, and I got, like, really excited. I was like, geez, I've been looking for that game forever. Even if it's $19.99, I might pick it up. It's 99 cents at GameStop. Keep that in mind. So I asked to see it on the shelf, and it's just to hold up Pikmin to give you kind of as a point of reference. It was a sealed game, okay? It was a new sealed game, but the seal over the Wii logo in the upper right corner was ripped from about here to, I'd say, to like here. So probably about, maybe it was more like this, about a fifth of the cellophane was actually entirely ripped off, which I don't collect sealed games. That doesn't matter to me. But if I were to get it to flip it so I could get a loose copy on the low, I couldn't really sell that as like a collector quality sealed game, which would have ideally would have wanted to do because I'm a dirty, rotten fucking reseller. I like to call it, I'm a finesse game. I finesse games. I finesse video games into the library. So that was a problem. But I was like, you know what? Still at $19.99, it might be worth it. So I asked the clerk to see the game, noticed the rip, it didn't have a price tag. I said, okay, how much is this? And I was almost expecting him to say, well, since it's ripped, you know, all the other Wii games are $19.99, like $9 or something, right? The clerk working that day, who is not the Justin Bieber looking bitch, goes over to the computer and clicky clacks on the computer, and he comes back at me, no lie, $69.99. I was like, are you kidding me right now? I was like, is that a firm price? At first I thought he was joking, and I was like, oh, are you firm with that price? You know, thinking he was kidding. And he's like, oh, the best I could do is $59.99. And I was like, oh, this dude is fucking serious. I was like, well, that's a pass. And I didn't buy anything, and I left. But that kind of lit a fire under my ass, and I went home and looked on Amazon. And you know what? I think that's where he got that price from, because a sealed copy on Amazon was like $60 or $69 or something at that time. I don't know what it is now. I haven't checked, but it was like really expensive. And I was like, well, that's, you know, obviously where we got the price from. That's fucking crazy. But I went and looked at the, you know, third-party sellers on there to see if I could find a cheap one, and I ended up finding a copy for $6 shipped. Now, it described it as good condition, you know, with the manual, and I was like, okay, they're saying it's in good condition, they're saying it comes with the manual, chances are it comes with the original case, I hope. $6 shipped, I'm just going to jump on it, because, I mean, the spread on this thing, like, there was a bunch of listings for about $6 that were, like, disc only, and then when you moved into complete territory, the price was gotten to, like, $20, and then, you know, exponentially higher. So I jumped on the $6 shipped. What's good to me could be totally different from somebody else's, you know, degree of what is good. And, hold on, this fucking phone is lighting up. What was I saying? Okay, so when it came in, I was really happy to see that it actually was in good condition. And of course, I mean, I just talked forever, I'm sorry. Target Terror on the Wii. What a fucking weird game. And this is what I was saying about the cover. Maybe this is a little controversial. You know, terror, you know, ISIS, you know, all these things in the U.S., like, these are touchy subjects, touchy subject matter. And I don't downplay that at all. I mean, I can totally understand how that could rub some people the wrong way. This came out in 2008. I don't even think ISIS was really a thing. But, yeah, you know, I mean, on the back there's, like, a fucking masked dude with holding up an AK, like, this just has, like, Al-Qaeda written all over it or something. But that said, it's a port of a 90s arcade game that has full motion video, so it has all real actors and stuff, really, really corny and over the top, totally B-grade acting. And I thought it looked great. I thought it looked like a lot of fun. So yeah, I've been busting my ass trying to find this game. It wasn't developed by Konami. It was actually developed by a company called Leviathan. And I'm not really sure what else they did. I think Konami just handled the publishing of this port, and I think a company called Raw Thrills actually handled the porting it from the arcade to the Wii. And the interesting thing about this is that it says, you know, that you can use the zapper there, which I've never used or tried. No, that's a lie. I played some of that fLexe crossbow training on it somewhere, one of my friend's house or something. Maybe it was a cousin, I don't know, but I did try it with that, and I just thought it was stupid. But I just play it with, you know, the nunchuck and stuff. In the game, it's everything I hoped it would be. It's fucking terrible in the best way. So really happy to finally get this. And, you know, the seller said it was in good condition, and it actually came in really good condition. I did have to replace the case, which is like a non-issue, you know what I mean? You got to do that a lot with Wii cases since they are white. And it smelled a little smoky, but I've run into that before. Dryer sheets, I'll put a dryer sheet in the case, and it usually fixes it. So really happy to add that to the collection. That was a hard one to find. I've never seen the game in the wild, with the exception of the one time, the sealed copy, but I've never seen a used copy at GameStop. They're 99 cents at GameStop, so that one's finally crossed off the list. Now this next one is the big one. Like this one, I don't think it's a particularly rare game, or even it might be a little bit uncommon. Whatever, you know, those are just words that are just fucking words. But it is a game that I had a hard time finding. I had seen a couple copies that weren't in the best condition and stuff, and I was holding out for a really nice copy. And I checked the GameStop app frequently, once or twice a week for this game. And one popped up. It was a few days before Christmas or something, and I called the store instead of just driving over there because it was kind of a hike. It was like 35 miles away. It was one of the, you know, the last stores that the GameStop app would pick up on that was in the radius. So I called them up and I said, hey, I checked the app. This game is showing up. Do you mind just, you know, checking to make sure you do in fact have it before I drive all the way out there? And the guy said, sure. What is the game? And he said, my computer's saying that we have one in stock. And I was like, okay, great. Do you mind just checking to see if it has the case in the manual and what kind of condition it's in? And he kind of let out like a sigh, and I was like, okay. And he said, listen, I'm by myself. I have a long line. If you want to call back, maybe we'll have less people, but right now I just don't have the time. And I instantly felt like a dick. You know what I mean? Of course it was busy. You know, it was right before Christmas. I'm sure he was swamped. He was working by himself. I kind of felt like a prick for asking. I was like, don't even worry about it, dude. I'll just come up and check it out. So I drove out there. You know, Little Crack loves a car ride, so she was pretty stoked on that. We drove out there. I went right to a beeline to the Wii games, and I could not find the case on the shelf. And I was like, fuck. You know, it's probably just one of those things where they just have the drawer or the disc in the drawer and the case is, you know, lost or whatever the case may be. And so I went up to the register, and it was pretty quiet at this point. There were still some people in the store, but there wasn't like a long line or anything. And I said, hey, I called earlier about that game, and I didn't see anything on the shelf. And he goes, oh, he's like, the Wii game? And I was like, yep. And, you know, he said the title. And he's like, actually, when it got dead, he's like, I went and pulled it out of the drawer because you said you were coming, and you got the case off the wall and just pulled it for you. And I was like, oh, nice, you know. And much to my surprise, it was totally complete, and it was actually in phenomenal condition. And that game is Sakura Wars So Long, My Love. Like I said, it was in great condition. The disc almost looks unplayed. I was really happy with that, considering how long I've been looking for this game. And you know how at GameStop, when you like buy something, they'll be like, take this survey down here at the bottom, and like whatever you might win $100. It's probably have a better chance of winning the fucking Powerball than winning that. I never do that. You know, what am I going to say? They only asked me to sign up for the credit card 3 times as opposed to 15. But that time I actually went ahead and gave the guy a good recommendation because, you know, he was honest. He was totally, like, sincere about, listen, I got a big line. I'm working by myself. I just don't have time for that shit. And I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Just, you know, instead of saying just no or whatever. And then when he did have a break, since I said I was coming anyway, and when the line died down, he actually went and, you know, kind of got everything together, and I appreciate that. So I gave him a nice review, and that's not something I typically do. I don't give negative ones. I just don't fucking do them. You know. I used to do them. They used to give you points. They used to give you like 100 points every time you did a survey. So I'd fucking do them all the time then. But now, no, I don't fuck with those. really happy to have this. This is a game, like, I don't even know if I'm going to like it. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I've been obsessed with getting this game for years. Like, this is years in the making I've been looking for this game. This is my most wanted Wii game. And it's literally been a nightmare. It almost got to the point where it became comical to me. I didn't think I'd ever get it. It was like a white whale or something. I know it also came out on the PlayStation 2, but for whatever reason, I was just hell-bent on getting it on the Wii. And it's not like you can't get the game. You can get the game on eBay. You can probably get the game on Amazon new right now for $30 or something. But, you know, GameStop, it's like $8. And I just really wanted to just find it. I enjoyed the thrill of the hunt. I've said that before. It's a big part of video game collecting that I kind of separate from playing games. I like to play games as much as I like to collect them. But when it comes to the collecting part, I really like going out there and finding stuff. And there was just something about this game, it just kept me motivated to keep going out and looking. And it was kind of sad to finally get it, because I think I've been looking for this for about 3 years. And, yeah, it's crossed off the list. So this is just like a grail game to me. And I don't even know if I'm going to like it. I really don't know much about the game. I heard it's okay, but for some reason I've been obsessed with it. If I do play it, and it is high on my list of Wii games to play, if I do play it and I end up, like, adoring it and thinking it's phenomenal, which I kind of highly doubt, but if that is the case, I'll probably want to go out there and find the PS2 version, because I think that came with like a big box and, you know, maybe an art book or something along those lines, soundtrack. I don't know what it all came with, but it did get a special treatment that the Wii version did not receive. Either way, really happy to finally get that. I don't know if I mentioned it. It is published by NIS. I'm not sure who developed it, to be completely honest. I don't know. I don't know if NIS did this or what, but really happy to get it, even though I don't know much about it. I've heard good things. I've heard that it's kind of like a dating sim / RPG, which sounds like a lot of fun. But man, this is like, as far as Wii games go, these are some of the Wii games I've honestly been, like, looking for a lot. Like, Secure Wars, Grail game for me. Target Terror. This got to be one of those things where I didn't even think it really existed. It was like, I don't even know if the game is a real thing. Pikmin 2 and Pikmin, it's nice to finally get these, you know, Nintendo published, so they're out there. You know, there's fucking hundreds of thousands of them. It's just that these games they keep, you know, they're good games, people keep them. And these Marvel Saga games, I've just heard so much good things from the community. People like, I don't know if I mentioned it, Retro Gamer Central, he's commented on these games before. Bubs has even told me this is a great game, so happy to add all of these good stuff there. And that's it, guys. Yeah, check out that Motorhead video, and I have a phone call to make, because one of my friend's wives has called me like fucking 10 times this morning throughout the course of this video, and it has me a little bit concerned. So, crack out.